Okay, this video picks up where the last one left off. Now that we have our Azure account and our student free Imagine billing account, or whatever we want to call it, we need to set up a SQL Server database. So if you've used AWS before, Azure will feel very familiar. We have all of our services over here. You can explore these. These are all things we can set up. There's free versions of many of them, not all of them. I'm not going to go through all these right now. What we want to do is set up a database. Just FYI, app services, this is where you come to set up a free website, so you can do your student projects here for my class. Just make sure that you use the free account or the free level. And beware if you put on a credit card and create a pay-as-you-go billing account. For those of some of you who are going to want to start your own company and do your own thing, just be careful. I don't want to be liable for you guys running up a huge bill or anything like that. For my class, all you have to do is this free account that we made in the last video. Anyway, for now, click on SQL Databases. We're going to add one. Hopefully this all works out nicely. Beautiful. Okay, database name. This is going to be a practice database. We're going to import what's called the AdventureWorks database using our Microsoft Imagine subscription that we just created. Resource group. So this is common. Resource groups. Imagine if you're setting up a new website. You're going to need web app services, database, and possibly a variety of other things. You'll need a storage account, several things you could use, so you'll want to put some together in a group. Let's make a group for our class called IS415. Well, you can call it wherever you want. I really don't care. The source for this database, instead of making a blank one, we're going to use one of Microsoft's sample databases, this AdventureWorks LT V12. I have no idea what the difference is between these. I used this one before, so we're going to use this one now because it does everything we want. Pricing tier. Oh, server. We need this first. Got to create a new server for the database to sit on. So server name, let's call this. This is going to have to be something unique to you. So MJK415. The problem is I made one of these before. You could name yours. Why don't I make mine? How about MK4? There we go. Use your initials and the class, something like that. Something unique. That'll work. Login. I'll make it the same thing. MK415. Password. Again, just make sure you remember all this stuff. For some reason, I have the hardest time finding these things out again. Oops. Let's try that again. I have a hard time finding my info and passwords and stuff when I come back into this interface. So just remember these somehow. Location doesn't really matter. I'm just going to choose West because, and that's why. Allow it to access services. Beautiful. Yes. Select. Nice. Save it. Okay. We got a server created. Pricing tier. Just take a look at these. We're going to use a free one, which means it's going to be really slow. No big deal. We can live with that. If you decide to create your own company, or you're going to go and help some other company, it's good to get familiar with what some of these tiers are. Microsoft has their own, they call it Database Transaction Unit, DTUs. They've got different tiers that offer a different amount of DTU capacity, storage capacity, and all that. Looks like it's taking its sweet time, so maybe I won't worry about it. Coalition, we can leave that blank. Let's go ahead and pin this to our dashboard just so it's always quick to access. Boy, this thing's really struggling. No problem, we'll close it out. We're going to use a free one anyway. Create. Now it validates and we sit and chill and hope it works. Beautiful. It is starting to deploy this database. So that is it. What I want to show you though is how to connect to this with SQL Server Management Studio. So while that's started, if you don't already have this installed, click here to download and install SQL Server Management Studio. Very useful tool. Let's go ahead and open it up. SQL Server Management Studio. There we go. Open this guy up. Let's see how our database is doing back here. Still deploying. Not a problem. It takes time. So let me pause it. I'm going to wait for Management Studio to open and wait for this deployment to finish. Okay, I think AdventureWorks is deployed and SQL Server is ready to go. So click, if you haven't already, here on SQL Server Databases, and you should see the AdventureWorks database show up now on the pricing tier here in the west. So this will give us, in case you've forgotten, a reminder of what we need to connect to this through SQL Server Management Studio. So here we go. Here's the server name. Here's my login. Hopefully I remember my password. So back here in SQL Server Management Studio, we're going to give it the server name. Copy this. Copied, beautiful. Paste. Not Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication using the admin account I just created, MK415, and the password I used when I created that. Connect. Okay, perfect. Your client IP address does not have access to the server. Sign into an Azure account and create a new firewall rule to enable access. So they've got understandably tight security. What this means is we need to go into Azure and use the IP address of my computer, or add my computer's IP address as an authorized account to access my Azure SQL Server database. So here's how we do that. I'm going to hit cancel on this, leave this all right here just as it is, and here we go, right here, set firewall rule. In case you can't find that, I've gone to SQL Server database, SQL Databases, AdventureWorks, and then right here, set server firewall on overview selected. Okay, click that. Rule name, we can call it whatever we want. My laptop. Start IP, here's my current address. Let's just be safe because I'm, with DHCP, who knows what my IP address will be tomorrow. So let's do everything from this part, 128.187.112.1, or whatever yours is, .1, and go all the way to .255. That should work. Save this. Updating firewall rules. Nice job. Allow access. Beautiful. Okay, let's try this again. Connect. And we're good. Okay, if you haven't used this before, you've got a SQL Server Management Studio is only for Windows, so you're going to have Parallels or something to use this. Or a student in class mentioned something that I want to find for those on a Mac that might work. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it now. Student, let me see if I can find. There's a tool for Mac that a student sent me I think may be useful that I can give you for Mac users. Anyway, back here, let's open up our AdventureWorks database. Azure lets us manage the database, but we can't view the data. So we use Management Studio to come in here and edit and view tables and take a look at what we've got. So this is a traditional transaction processing database. We've got customers. With AdventureWorks, I believe this is a business-to-business company or model. So their customers are other businesses. So I think customer names are like company names. We've got customer addresses, products, product categories, descriptions. These tables, it's a pretty straightforward database. They have sales order header detail. This is like our orders and our line items tables. Anything else I need to tell you? I think it's pretty straightforward. So this took a while to pull up because our free pricing tier on Azure is pretty slow, but that's okay, it works. I just want you to be able to come in here and explore the data that we just deployed. So you can see company name. Looks like we've got a contact name as well. Anyway, that's all I'm going to show you on this for now. So you'll use SQL Server Management Studio to edit when you create your own database. You can come in here and edit tables. So you'll set up the database first, but then you'll come here to create new tables, all that type of thing. Edit, add data manually and all that. So that's it for this video. I'm going to close this out. Check for another video where I will show you then how to connect to that database here in Tableau and play with the data.